It's not going to happen, and the upset by Winterfox coming back into the matchup with a flurry of kills by Anger. The Deagle Force was surprising, and I don't know if enemy GG accounted for the possibility of a Deagle Force. I mean, they obviously knew that it would be possible, but it doesn't mean that they will still go for it. Scout for Kuster now, but Main is the guy to open it up onto Lex. The terrorists take their time collecting map control on A long. Now they will push forward. They know that Kuster has the scout and they will push him back, strategically placing their molotovs and flashes, so he has no room to go anywhere anymore. He has to back away, lining up that shot, but gets killed by Flow 6. So good job by Winterfox getting into the A bomb set, but they lost a lot of HP doing that. The CTs with a good chance of coming back. Relics with the FAMAS and Uber with the AK. Good weapons for them. Relics with the frag as well. Anger is now the last man standing. He's already flanked. And Uber with the important frag to close it out. Enemy come back again. And this is the exchange that I have been hoping for. Wow, my tongue still is asleep. Enemy with the second round on the board. What a close game so far. The terrorists have planted, so they will have enough money to buy up again. Even though two of their guys will not have as much equipment as they would like to. XP3 with the AWP now, so that might be a little surprise again. Winterfox going for some surprising plays. So far it has been working for them, even though they couldn't string those two rounds together. So, first frag in favor of the terrorists. Lost a lot of HP though. Winterfox still looking for another one on A long. They really like the A bomb side, that's for sure. And enemy is accounting for that. Great double spray down by Uber. Kuster is coming back there, just taking a quick peek. XP3 now lines up that angle but misses the shot. That could have been the opener the terrorists needed. Now the CTs know that it's most likely an A push. Still 45 seconds on the clock, potentially enough time to rotate to B. An enemy will account for that. Relics goes for the rotation again. Two players in A, both of them focused on short while the terrorists make their way into A long. XP3, the guy to take point with his AWP. Good job avoiding that flash, and there goes the frag. XP3 tries to line up a second one, goes down to the headshot of Kuster, but the spray by Lex will close it out. 2v1 now. Relics with a quick rotation back to A again. He's a little bit out of breath. And the terrorists have the right positions. Desi is already in pit. He's waiting there, but oh, he didn't peek and let his teammate be killed. Now Relics on the defuse, and Desi is not getting that angle. Now he's trying to get it, but it's too late. Enemy will get the defuse and make it 3-1. What a great performance by both teams, just trading frags back and forth, surprising each other with good plays. And overall, it's just a sick game to watch at the moment. I couldn't put it differently. Now the AK has been saved by Desi, who is called Isep. You can turn his name upside down and then turn it another 90 degrees, and then you would be able to see that it's Desi. Quite creative to write his name like that. Definitely confused me for a second. Now Kuster has the AWP. That's obviously not his own, but the one that the terrorists have bought. No, it's been dropped by Relics. So they couldn't save the AWP that has been dropped. Oh, but he's going to work. That's an ace for him. It doesn't matter who dropped the AWP. It's Kuster who wields it. And it's definitely a deadly weapon in his hands. Good job. Making it a flawless round for enemy GG as well. So their money is working its way up there. You know, it's not quite enough yet, but they have 2.2k and they have a lot of money. Kusta is just wrecking them at the moment. 6 frags in 2 rounds. This has been a blessed orb, that's for sure. The T's are going for some information in the middle. They really want to equalize the player count before they make their final move. The CTs are trying to avoid being taken down, or at least avoid being taken down on their own. You know, at least get a trade frag, or at least take down one with you. Uber and Goose are good positions for the CTs with Kusa holding Guardian. The Terrace will face off. Lex is the most important player now for Winterfox. If he doesn't get the frag, it will be virtually impossible for them to push A. And they realize that it might be a little bit too risky to push A with Kusta being on fire like that, so they go for the B split. A good idea by them. Lucky is alone inside. The side Relics goes down after only trading one, but Lucky with the right move, he drops the bomb carry outside. That's a great situation for the CTs. Flowsick and Desi try to retrieve the bomb, but the CTs already have all their eyes pinned on that, and Uber will close it out. Enemy with a 5-1 lead. And they look like they could take it away here from Winterfox. But I wouldn't count them out yet. They already showed what they are capable of achieving with Anger and the triple deagle kill. So even though they are saving now, they have dangerous pistols, they have dangerous aim. And let's see if they can pull it off again. Let's see if they can upset enemy GG. Anger was going for that initial peek into A long, but he was smoked off, and now it's the CTs taking control. Second frag for them in middle. They already push the back of the terrorists with Relics and the UMP. He goes down though. Lucky with the refrag, so everything is still in the hands of the CTs, and the orb gets dropped by Lucky. He will save it as well. It's still that magical ace orb, so enemy can still trust that. It's like the, I don't know how the sword in Lord of the Rings is called, but there is that, you know, the special sword that cut off the hand of Sauron. And I think that you can compare that orb to that sword. Maybe XP3 forged his own orb in the pits of Mordor. He can't use it yet. Just has to hold his horses a little longer. The CTs change their setup a little bit. Lucky goes for another quick push into B tunnels. The terrorists try to handle that with one player at the stairs. It's Desi. Will look in the barrel of Lucky. Good job there by the CT. If he had gone down, that could have been a good position for the terrorists. Now it's Winterfox realizing that if the CTs go for that push into B tunnels, it's most likely the A bomb site that's the weakest point to attack, and they will push through too long. Now they have to slow down due to that smoke, and the CTs have the chance to rotate players in. They get into position to get the retake going rather quickly. They have Lucky, who could push through to A short. Kusta trying to cover his teammate, and Main is covering A long. So the terrorists really need to work together. It's once again XP3 who needs to open up the round for the terrorists. Anger is thinking about pushing through there. No more smoke for the terrorists, and they have to push through and cross to the bomb site barefooted, so to speak, and there is glass all over the floor. They still make it. Lex and Flowsick with the frags. One in middle, one at the platform. Kusta is alone. Another important round for the CTs, but he's not prepared for Flowsick's position. Taking the off angle, not sitting around here, but going for that. So the CT, when he jumps up to the box, will most likely watch that area and not scan all the way back to Catwalk. Winterfox have their second round on the board, and despite the plenty rounds the CT strung together, their money is quite low now. They have to watch out. No orb for enemy. And the terrorists with a chance to force them on a save and then close the gap to 6-4. Desi's just holding defensively on the B bomb side. He just doesn't want to run into Lucky again. And that's a mind game here that enemy uses in their favor. They used that push twice, and now the terrorists need to kind of put one player over here or over here somewhere that is solely focused on B tunnels. They are just so scared of that backstab that could be applied by enemy that they don't want to risk anything and rather have Desi waiting there for the majority of the round. 37 seconds on the clock now. Winterfox has to make their move sometime soon. It's going to be an A split with 2 CTs at long. It's a good position for enemy GG. They have that double cover at long, so they can hold on to that, and their teammates from middle can rotate in through short and then get a good retake going. Flowsick though will dispose of Kuster. Making it a 4v4 again is Uber with the frag onto Lex, and now that backstep comes in. Lucky is once again the nuisance. This time it's Flowsick who goes down, and suddenly it's the CTs all over the place. The terrorists have no room for error. They can't really hold on to that. XP3 is alone. He's got the orb. Maybe the weapon that he could have done something about it, but since the CTs peeked him together, he didn't get a single frag out of that situation. Winterfox, after winning one, they lose another one. The enemy is back in control. They're Void having to save, and the terrorists in turn are running out of money. So they will buy up this one, but after that they won't have anything. The loser bonus of 2 rounds then will not be high enough. Thanks, Hunter K button 2. Even though your nickname is quite complicated, I really appreciate your feedback. Winterfox with a deagle on Anger. We already saw what he's capable of doing. Lex has the same weapon, while the teammates manage to squeeze out 2 AKs and an AWP. The chances of Winterfox winning this round are not too bad, but if you look at the CT's positions, they are once again prepared for everything. Lex will plant the bomb, so some more money in the bank for Winterfox. Now Kuster, wow, how did he spot Desi even? That is such a big awareness. I mean, he pushes into short, but this time around, he scans everything. He doesn't want to run into any more off positions. Winterfox desperately have to hold on to that bomb site. They have lost one of their more important rifles, but they still make it happen. Anger with the deagle shot, and a second one follows up, while his teammates spray down the rest. Winterfox win the 3rd round, or their 3rd round, and suddenly enemy realize that maybe we have bought a few too many defuse kits in the previous rounds. They always bought 5 defuse kits across the board, even though they didn't have too much money. Even though you could argue, well, maybe 3 players with defuse kits are okay. Maybe that's enough already for us. And, well, it's still, you know, you rather have the defuse kit instead of running out of time on the bomb. So I understand their decisions, but in hindsight, maybe not going for all the nades all the time would have been a little better for them. But it doesn't matter. Winterfox was the team to make that happen. It wasn't enemy's fault, you know. It was Winterfox that kept their economy low by repeatedly killing them off and making it hard for the CTs to win those rounds. And that is definitely a possible comeback for Winterfox now. It will be 7-4. I don't think that Lucky can come up with... I mean, that would be really sick if he managed to win this round. So, we will wait for the round to end due to the bomb exploding. Or maybe the terrorists could find him. Anger is quite close. If it would be a car parking, it would definitely beep now. And he will track him down. So, no armor saved for Lucky. The pistol gets taken out as well. CTs with a buy again, and Winterfox with a double AWP setup now. Hi, Spooks. Thanks, man. And what a shot by XP3. He thanks Relics for jumping across and then jumping into his crosshair. Both ops have been pinned down into middle, so the terrorists really wanted to start the round with that B frag. Now Lucky is alone over there. The terrorists know that, or they don't know it necessarily, but they can guess it, you know. There is only so many different setups that you can use on the CT side on Dust 2. And most times you will end up having 2 players cross across the doors and 3 players stay on the other side. Sometimes 3 cross and then 1 crosses back later on, so the terrorists are fooled into thinking, oh, they have 3 players at B, or 2 at B and 1 in middle. And yeah, there are a few things that you can do to play around, but usually it's a 2 and 3 split. Winterfox will account for that. They will push into the B bomb site with a B split. Lucky is not lucky at all. Main with the frag onto Lex now. Both CTs in CT spawn will have a good line of sight, but they don't get the frags, and that's the more important part. It's not only seeing the terrorists, but also taking them down. The retake is still possible now that Uber opened up on Desi in the tunnels. Tunnels being a very important position for the terrorists to hold on after the bomb has been planted. XP3 with some trouble, but the 5-7 still does the job. No, it's actually a P250, and Uber is forced to save his gun. Enemy will not be able to convert this round into their own, and Winterfox survive with 3 players below 40 HP, 2 of them below 20. That tells you some part of the story on how close this round was. Once again, the 2 teams are not giving each other an inch. We are nearing the close of this first half on the first map. The second one... Give me a second, I forgot. The second one is Cash. If you don't know, I'm German and it's 5:36 a.m. for me. I just woke up. Kind of. Desi wakes up the CTs with a few AK sprays, getting the 4v3 in his team's favor. But he's down to 6 HP and needs to watch out to not go down. The same goes for Flowsick, who wasn't careful enough. Uber sprayed him down, but the trade comes in by Anger, so it's a 2v3 again. The terrorists should have this round in the bag. Kusa and Main leg armor. They could still single out Desi. Main should get that frag. There it goes. Kusa at the same time picks off XP3. And that is definitely possible to clutch for the CTs. Anger is running into CT spawn. He knew that he can't wait for the CTs to make their move. He needed to make it a 1v1. And the only possible way to do so is be aggressive. Get in the face of your opponents. And, you know, shift it in your own favor by taking the initiative. If he would have stayed at the platform and waited for the CTs to push him, would have been impossible for him, or much harder to win the round. Even though he goes down to Main's AWP, the round is on the board for Winterfox. Akusa lacks a real weapon, but he's... Oh, he picked up the AWP. It was dropped again. Sorry for missing that. Kind of obvious. Where did the AWP go? That main line just saved. Stupid caster. One half of my brain is still asleep. I mentioned it already. Parts of my tongue are too. The terrorists will push into middle without smoke, so they try to not give it away too early. The smoke popped a little late and allowed mainline to open up the round for the CTs. A little mistiming there by the terrorists, or maybe it was supposed to be like that. Obviously they weren't supposed to lose 2 players at the start of the round, but I will walk you through that idea later on. Anger, Desi and XP3 are inside the B-bomb site, but the CTs are on the doorstep. It's going down to the CTs pushing in there, and XP3 picks up the frag with the flames. Desi with another one onto main line, making it a 1v1 again. 50 seconds on the clock. The smoke is still there. Kusta had to switch from the AWP to the AK. He figures that it's maybe better to have a spraying weapon in the 1v1. He has a little more chances in case he misses the first few bullets. He still has a chance to salvage the round. Desi's hiding away behind Big Box. Kusta tries to clean out the bomb site as good as he can, but Desi is holding his horses, waiting for the CT. Now he's poking him, but not getting the frag. A little miss by Desi. Still gets the headshot onto Kuster. Once again, making my heart miss a beat there. Winterfox draw it 7-7 now. Very good start into the game by enemy. Struggling here a little bit, and the fourth round was very close too. But then they really got going. They lost too many players though, so their economy didn't sustain that round loss. Or those round losses, rather. But Kuster is still there, and Kuster is the hope for enemy at the moment. Perfect map to play the orb as strong as he is. Shooting pigeons here. XP3 is tagged down to 17 as well. Kuster doing the work for enemy. The terrorists are trying to get something going there. 1 minute 10 on the clock. Still waiting on a shot. And the bomb is making a rotation to B. The CTs once again went out there. They're going all the way out. Relix goes for the backstep. Now the terrorists will run into him. And they know him. They know where he is. He stepped away. They heard him. And they will focus on him for now. But they don't know that Lucky is there as well. Lucky with the important spray. He drops the bomb carrier. And now he can retreat into the bomb site. Calls in for the rotation. Having spotted the C4. At this stage of the round, it's more than likely it will stay at the side of the map. And it will not be rotated anymore. Desi is working in middle, trying to get that opening back again, but Lucky still holds on to the side while his teammate is in terrorist spawn. Uber just waiting there. He is a key player in case Lucky doesn't get the frags. Uber would still be there. Now Lucky receives 99 damage, goes down to the nade by Desi. Winterfox still contests the round with 9 seconds on the clock. They need to go for the bomb plant. And Hanger puts it down. The CTs didn't try to avoid that. But now it's Uber going in there from behind. The terrorists are crammed in. Now they are both inside the platform. And Desi with a very important frag onto Uber. The 2v1 is restored. But Kuster is still alive. And Desi will not let that go the way of the CTs. Intercepting Kuster on the way to the bomb site. Desi with that frag. And sadly for enemy, Uber wasn't able to have the impact that I already saw him having. Could have been a way different round if that backstab was more successful. 16 frags for Kuster, 12 for Lucky, who had a very good day here on the B bomb site. On the other side we have 15 and 13 for Anger and Desi. So enemy on the terrorist side now. 3 armored players, no magic over there, no surprises like they came up with in the first half. They will go into middle, but send one player into a short. So he will drop into CT spawn with the right timing. That could be the difference maker. Relics with the frags. Now Lucky picks off one as well. He is still, no, Kuster is still at short, and he will pick off Anger. Now the CTs are cramped in between. 2 players at B and 1 in their back. They just need to keep going and then try to ambush Kuster. That goes the way of XP3 here. But Uber has that Tech 9, and I don't know if XP3 really can come back into this round. It will be tremendously hard for him. Yeah, and not finding that headshot on Uber will not make it any easier. 8-8 now. Enemy is back. You can follow me on Twitter, by the way, if you like the cast. You can let me know. If you have any constructive criticism, you can let me know as well. Flowsick with the first frag on long. So again, it looks like the 2 teams just refuse to give anything to their opponents. Now Flowsick managed to pick up the Uzi or Mac 10, if you would use the I mean, that's the regular name. But I really like to go for the G name of the weapon. And I've played a little too much GTA back in the day. And the CTs will try to get something going on short, but Lucky has that covered, so it's gonna be an aim exchange. Anger has a dangerous deagle. He just had the wrong timing onto Lucky. Now he heard them. He knows where they are. Good game sense by him, checking the back, and he picks off that headshot. Relics with the refrag though, but the damage has been done. The CTs made it already very, very expensive, and another frag for the CTs. Flowsick gets traded. Once again, it's Relics. He's the merchant of the terrorist, trading his teammates for kills. But XP3 closes, or Desi closes it out and makes it a 2v1. Uber is in middle, and he will be covered by Daisy. Winterfox win that eco round, or that forced buy rather. And both of the surviving players save the AK, so that is helping the CTs to get some more weaponry and stronger weaponry as well. Enemy didn't plant the bomb, so their money's not looking too strong. They go for the Tech 9 buy. Obviously, they know that the CT's money is not really out of its infancy yet, so they want to force them on a save right away. They want to be back in the driving seat as soon as possible. But Winterfox just did a very good job of just getting those cheeky, upsetting frags with Anger, the Deagle shot there. Then I think it was Flowsick with the Mac-10 that just had the right timing, and the trades just didn't give that terrorist real good map control, so they couldn't work with anything, and they were caught in between the CTs time and time again. It was just good timing and good positioning by Winterfox. Now it's up to their positioning again. Flowsick has the right one. The bomb gets dropped straight away. He can call in for the rotation already, and he drops another one. Relics with the Tech 9, picking up the double kill. Really good for him and his teams as well. But the Tech 9 is not the right weapon to pick a fight with an AK in pit. So he realizes that, carries the bomb to the platform at least, but Lex and Desi are there. No problem after all. Winterfox was struggling a little bit, but just like a jogger that is tripped for a second, they rove with their arms, they just get back to their feet in the nick of time. Winterfox with a 10-8 scoreline now, and the terrorists with a real save. Only P250 spot. And for everyone, I will post it there so far. Uber taking point in that B attempt. The mid to B not split, but just rush, more or less. Oh, two-step with the headshot. Good job by him. Mainline picking up that M4A1, and now everything goes south for the CTs. They just can't maintain control of the bomb site. Anger and XP3 with the rotation. They have to split up. They have to get additional angles. Anger will be headed into the B bomb site from middle, and XP3 comes in from the back. XP3 is going to be key here. And both of them pick up a frag. Mainline is the last man, and he will not get the kill onto Anger, who survives with 13 HP, and he's already on the bomb defuse. But a very expensive round for Winterfox. Enemy did a good job of making a hard skipper beat again, even though it wasn't necessarily mine. I think a few guys out there were dropping jaws. Spoilers will be banned if I see them, by the way. So we want to keep everyone entertained here, and if you spoil something like Gandalf kills Voldemort at the end of Star Wars, it's not going to entertain anyone. XP3 is now getting the frags that Kuster did before, and by killing Kuster, he removes one of the key players for enemy. Winterfox falls back into defensive positions. They leave Anger alone on long, which is a little dangerous in my opinion. But XP3 could cover long, and Flowsick is quite close to middle. And I think that's also Winterfox taking into account that the terrorists went for a lot of B splits and a lot of B pushes. And they just don't want to run into some more trouble. Now mainline with the double kill. How did he see Flowsick? That was probably the name flashing due to him being close to the player. And then, you know, the game kind of tells you that there is somebody even though you can't really see him. I think they have fixed that bug. But maybe because there are small gaps in the boxes, it still works. I don't know. Desi with that frag onto Relics. A really important frag to keep the CTs in the running for this round. But I don't know if they really want to contest this. Their money's not looking good, and now Desi's down to 14 HP. He already backs away. Leaves Anger. No, Anger is not covering his exit. They both run for their lives. They run for the hills. And the terrorists already check everything as well as they can. Uber might spot Anger there. Not quite. I don't know it. No, he won't make it anymore. So, both weapons saved. Gives the CTs a fighting chance in the upcoming round. And I take this as a compliment, Pro Mod. Now, the T's try their luck on A long for this round. The CTs accounted for that as well. It seems like Winterfox have a good overview over the terrorist strategies. It almost seems like what's that game called? Where you say it's like chess but different. Where you just say a number and a letter, and then you have ships. Oh, what's that game called in English? I just don't know. I can't come up with that name. I think it's shooting ships or something like that. And it seems like they marked all the possible strategies the terrorists already used, but enemy is getting back to the B execution. And once again, it seems to work quite well for them. Anger and XP3 are left saving their guns again. And enemy will get closer again after Winterfox had those 3 rounds in a row. Thanks to that upset they pulled in the second round. The terrorists are now back on track, and the CTs are facing a save. Well, they won't entirely save, but Anger and XP3 have those guns, so they might have something to work with, but their teammates barely have anything. Ah, battleships! Thanks for helping me out there. You know, board games and stuff, they always get rebranded in different countries. Anger with the last frag here onto Relics. Making it a little more costly for the terrorists, but not too much. Money is wasted there. 19 for Kuster, 20 for Anger. It's the both carriers, not really carriers. Their teammates are doing their job as well, so. But they are running for the lead fragger. And the CTs want to have Anger pick up a few more frags. There he goes. But Flowsick goes down. Some information gathered by the CTs. They know that there are more terrorists coming into A long, and they go for the all-in. Desi pushes into main, into middle. Wants to find out some more information and forward that to his teammates. That position by Desi is really cheeky. In lower B tunnels, he can peek into middle and just has that under control, while XP3 is regaining control of A. Winterfox doing a good job here with only those 2 weapons. The players that have the weapons, they know how important they are, and they will pick up those frags. Now, Relics is running into that trap. He doesn't know yet. It's like a mouse getting closer, and maybe his neck will be snapped. Desi didn't hear him or didn't see him. So the CTs are unaware of the presence of Relics, but the peek by Anger in the right moment, making it a 4v2. Lucky goes down to XP3, and XP3 with another one. What a great round by Anger and his all player. Winterfox are right back again. And again, it's an eco or a force buy or whatever you can call it. I mean, it wasn't a buy. It was just those two guns that have been safe doing the damage that they were supposed to. And I think there was also enemy being a little too respectful with that first frag by Anger at long. They slowed down a lot and then they split up. And I think that was the most the worst thing that they could have done in that situation. Now they will stick together, at least in middle. They will trade 1 for 1, but Desi and Anger will swing it back into the CT's favor, and Desi with a second is not leaving a question unanswered here. Winterfox with a 13-10 lead. But it has been a struggle so far, and I don't want to count enemy out just yet. The ones 7142 Battleships is, I don't even know the German name. Now I just realized I don't even know the German name. Well, I will try to think of the name and then tell you as soon as I come up with it. XP3 and Anger stick together. They figure we've been a very successful team, or a squad, so to speak. So why not stay together? And yeah, they are successful again. Anger with a double kill. Now he's getting ahead of himself a little bit. Just rushes through the flames, still gets the frag. Lucky with the Tech 9, gets revenge on XP3, but Anger drops him with a quad kill. Winterfox make it 14-10 against the Tech 9 buy. So it already was not looking as good as the other rounds for enemy at the start when they only had Tech 9. So no surprises there by Winterfox. Now XP3 is opening it up again. The terrorists wanted to push into middle, but Lex is there with a double AWP setup. Winterfox is really shutting them down now. Doesn't give enemy anything to work with. You need map control on the terrorist side. You need to push the CTs back a little bit and deny them those first frags. And with a 5v3, yet again, enemy is struggling. Lucky might be able to pull it back. He already changed quite a few rounds on the CT side for enemy. So the hopes lie heavy on his shoulders. Like a soaked coat in winter when it rains. Just like it does in Germany. XP3 is in the right position, but a cheeky call by the terrorists. Good job dropping into CT spawn, leaving the bomb in middle. We already were able to tell that by the bomb's position, but the CTs didn't know. Good nade though by Lex. He's still the last line of defense and he makes it work. Triple kill. Winterfox with 5 map points. An enemy is deflating at the moment. It is Winterfox's map pick though. So I think that enemy could... I'm helplessly positive in those situations. I always think like, oh guys, come on, we had a good first half. We had a good few rounds here. Even though we might lose or we have lost, I don't know yet. They might extend this game. Let's put it behind us. Focus on our own map. It's our home map, you know. We will take it. It's our country, so to speak. Let's live it up. Some kind of motivation. Enemy looking for some A-long control. Just going for some shoulder piece. Main is not really showing himself. Just a very tiny bit of his shoulders. Wants to draw out a frag, and now he knows that the CT doesn't have his weapon ready. It was XP3 who was caught with his pants down. The terrorists will push through. They pick up the AWP as well. Mainline is the right guy to have it as well. Uber with the Tech 9 frag. It's all slipping away from the CTs. They can't hold on to the side. A 2v3 now. Lex and Desi still together. Desi is still alive in CT spawn. He will be drawn up by Mainline though. And Winterfox can't convert the first of their map points. And there is a rule in Germany. It's one of our most famous castles. He's called Knochen, aka Knocken. I think you would pronounce it Knocken. in English. And there is a rule, it's called the Knochen rule, that says whenever a team reaches map point, they will never win the following. They will always lose it. Some kind of rule. And it's almost always on point. This time around, Winterfox seem way better. They already made it a 4v2, and there's still 1 minute 10 on the clock, so just those first few seconds ended up looking horrible for enemy. But Kusta is still alive, and he's together with Lucky. So they still have a fighting chance here. Two of their strongest players so far in this matchup. Now Kusta has to pick up that frag on short. Doesn't though. Anger is on point. A second frag in the round, and he might pick up Lucky as well. I think Anger could be the guy to go for some information, but I think he might have learned his lesson from the round when he pushed through the flames into the middle. And Lucky was a little too hesitant. 16-11 for Winterfox. Good job by Anger, picking up 30 frags in 27 rounds. So I thank you guys out there for tuning in. We will head into the second map in just a few moments. We will give the players a break. You know, they want to maybe go to the toilet, maybe get something to drink, or talk about what has happened in the first one, or what will happen in the second map. It is going to be enemy's map pick on cash. So we might be in for a treat here. We might see a third map. And I hope that you guys are not falling asleep. I think it's 12 o'clock for the most of you. It's 6 o'clock for me. It's 6 o'clock in the morning for me. I went to bed, tried to get some sleep, but it didn't really work out. So I'm here with 2 hours of sleep. If I don't pronounce every word correctly, please give me a break, because it's quite hard. I think it would be quite hard even if I would talk my my mother language, mother tongue. Who cares? We will be back with a second map. Thank you for tuning in, guys.